first draft in the 2 weeks after I read that, just on the inspiration wave from having read it. It's an amazing book. It's also contemporary, so I would say they were paranormal authors reading a bunch of contemporary, but awesome.
I'm breaking the mold. We're all just in New York for a big conference called BEA, which is Book Expo America, and they give a lot of ARCs, which are advanced reader copies of stuff that's not out yet. So the book that I read was Forever, which is the 3rd book. Oh yes.
All she did was,
yeah. No. I was reading it on the train, and Courtney was sitting next to me, and I was like gasping, and then I'd cry for a while, and then I'd gasp, and not so crying. So yeah, it's Forever is by Maggie Stiefvater, and she has 2 other books in that series that are Shiver and Linger. It's about werewolves in the small town, and her werewolves are very different. Their change is controlled by temperature, and it's this love story between this mortal girl and this werewolf boy, and they had a run-in when they were both like very young, like 8 or something, and he saved her as a wolf, and so she's like completely obsessed with these wolves that are like on her property, and one of them turns out to be like the love interest, and it's like Romeo and Juliet of, I don't want to say interspecies because it sounds so gross. Reality, but that's wrong.
Is that the art?
Yeah, I know. So it comes out in July, so it's not too much of a wait. You should go read it.
TikTok. Next person who asks a question. Chelsea gets one. Personal demons.
Free clothes.
Free clothes. Come on, somebody's got to have a question.
Who's your favorite author?
Go ahead, you
Favorite
start.
author.
Yes.
Oh my.
I love Michelle Mead, who did Vampire Academy. Actually met her at Book Expo America and had a bit of a seizure. I was like, oh my god, you're amazing! And I'm pretty sure she thought I was a crazy person. It's all good.
Okay, so I just talked about where she went. Gail Foreman wrote that book. It's a contemporary, it's a sequel to a book where there's a girl who's in a horrible accident, and the whole premise of If I Stay is she has to choose whether she's going to live or die. Her whole family's killed, and she has to decide if she's going to live or die. And she decides, well, I'm going to totally spoil the book for you, because Gail does. Because there's a sequel, so you kind of know what happens. She's not going to live. It's a really boring sequel if she chose to die, right? Not much would happen in the sequel. So she, in the end, chooses to live, and it's basically because of the boyfriend, Adam, who's totally, like, swoon-worthy. And so the sequel happens 3 years later, and she, you can imagine, has a lot of things that she's dealing with after losing her whole family in this accident, all the survivor's guilt and whatever. And so the book happens 3 years later, and you find out that they have broken up basically since. She's gone to New York to Juilliard, they've gone their separate ways. He's turned into this like bona fide rock star. And so I like totally want Adam. I mean, I just totally want this guy, right? And so the book is just totally, like I said, just blew my mind, rocked my world. And so she came to, I'm from California, she came to Oakland, and so I went and totally just fangirled all over her in Oakland. And so she's definitely my current favorite at the moment. And then we saw her at Teen Author. We were all at Teen Author Carnival. Is kind of a big blogger thing that they do in New York before BEA. It's just a real blast, and just very well attended, tons of people, and she was there, so I fangirled her again, and I will plan to fangirl her wherever she is from here on out. She lives in New York, so I might have to move to New York so I can fangirl her some more. I don't know. Is this like obsession? Is this like stalker-ish? Maybe, I don't know. But she's totally, totally amazing, so that would be my absolute, yeah. I get the question a lot, and you guys probably get it too, like, which book do you wish you wrote? Anything she writes, I wish I wrote. She's amazing.
I mentioned Maggie Stiefvater. She's way up there on the list. She's one of the only people that I really can't, like, I'm going to her signing July 18th. She's in Michigan, and like I'm already starting to prep myself for like not panicking, because like she talks to me every once in a while on Twitter, so like I know she knows who I am, and like that just weirds me out. And like I've told my mom before, like, oh yeah, you know, I was talking and Maggie said something, and she's like, oh my gosh, I got my mom all in green. one that's difficult for me to like talk to in any context is Carrie Ryan, who wrote The Forest of Hansen's and 2 other books in that series. She's also a phenomenal writer, and I think that if